Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, October 16th, 2025. Let's take a look at the chart. Start with the big picture. It was a settlement 5 weeks ago tomorrow. Is that right? Or was it 6 weeks? Am I counting correctly? I think it's 6 weeks. Yeah, it was 6 weeks ago tomorrow that we settled above the 362.93 2.5-year channel top. There were other elements in the same vicinity. Having settled above it did signal, it still does, 525.18 as our next big picture objective. And by big picture, I'm talking, I'm using 5 to 8 months as an estimate. Because, different than the last time we settled above this structure back in, I think it was in November of last year, and we rallied within 3 to 5 weeks almost to this 525.18 channel top. What's different now is the fact that there's what I would call structure. In other words, a rising 7-month channel top at 474.90 that we did test 3 weeks ago and did contain buying pressures. We backed away from it, holding below 474.90, although it hasn't happened yet, and it may not. It does maintain 362.93 as a 1 to 2 month downside target. That would be discontinued if we were to, of course, close above 474.90 over the next few weeks. And if so, then our 525.18 5 to 8 month objective would be just another 2 to 3 weeks. So inside of about 2 or 3 months, it would be the possibility there. 525.18 would be an area to take, I'm going to say, all profits for the most part. I mean, unless you're just an ultra long-term investor, portfolio investor in Tesla. But if you have an element that is more a near to mid-term, that is to say 3 to 5 weeks out to 3 to 5 months, 525.18 is your area to take all of those profits. Because from there, from 525.18, we can fall away through the first quarter of next year and possibly well into 26.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
The 574.90 rising channel top has a sister formation on the daily chart, same exact structure at 470.22. Now, I don't expect to revisit this area here anytime soon unless we were to close today, for instance, above 445.36. And then we just zoomed in just a little bit on the same exact structure. So 445.36 is our 3 to 5 day pivot point. And I'm going to back out just a little bit just to cover the time horizons properly. We've got resistance in the 470s and support in the 360s. That is kind of our 1 to 2 month framework right now, where we could top out in the 470s, as we already have, fall away into the 360s over the next month or two, and round up again. That is really our 1 to 2 month time horizon, our framework over that time horizon. And inside of that, we do have like a 1 to 2, a 2 to 3 week or so, a pivot point. In other words, 408.65, if tested over the coming days, can contain selling through next week. And from here, we can round up into the 470s again within 2 to 3 weeks. If we close below 408.75, we're just another 2 to 3 weeks from reaching this 360s longer-term support, where we could bottom out through the rest of the year and round up again into the 520s, as I mentioned before, which is why I kind of stretch it out to 5 to 8 months. Because if we do all that, if we, for instance, bottom out at 408.65 and rally back into the 470s by the end of October, and then fall away again, et cetera, over the following month or two into the 360s before rounding up into the 520s over the following 2 or 3 months, yes, that can stretch out to 5 to 8 months, certainly. So that is our 2 to 3 3-week pivot point inside the 360s up into the 470s, and inside of this 408.65 2 to 3 week support base and the 470s longer term midterm resistance really is once again 445.36. This is our 3 to 5 day pivot point, our swing trade. We can top out at 445.36 through next week, perhaps fall away into the 408.65 area within 3 to 5 weeks, and vice versa. Bottom out at 408.65. It is an area to be bought if you're a 3 to 5 day or 2 to 3 week swing trader. This is your next support. You could also, as a 3 to 5 day swing trader, buy on strength with a settlement above 445.36. And then we expect a retest of that significant 470s resistance, 474.90 on the daily chart, 470.22, where we could top out into possibly through November activity and fall away again. One more time on 408.65. It's not going to happen today, but if later in the week or next week we close below 408.65, our 1 to 2 month target in the 360s that remains in effect below 474.90 would likely be realized within just another week or two. So that would be kind of a 3 or 4 week sell-off from the 470s into the 360s if we were to close over the next few days below 408.65. Anything else? I don't think so. One thing I am going to say is that earlier this week, we put out a stock pick on Qualcomm. We'll have another stock pick today, Thursday. You can see them for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. You also see our daily SPY and triple Q analysis. The SPY is testing a 5.5-year channel top that has held the highs in beautifully for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and below which the broader market's not going anywhere, and I'm talking the S&P 500 in particular, and is quite susceptible to falling away as we move into later year. If we can close above that structure, and I don't show it here at all, then just the opposite, a longer-term upward continuation into Q1 of 26. I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's Daily Tesla Report. You have a great day.